Welcome to Unspoken, where whispers become words and secrets tiptoe into the light. Each week, we crack open the vault and read your juiciest confessions, most chaotic questions, and the dilemmas you'd never dare to say aloud, unless it was anonymous.
Of course.
We're your brutally honest besties with just enough mystery to make it deliciously dangerous. You send it, we say it. No names, no judgment. Maybe just a little bit. Welcome to Unspoken. You are joined by your wonderful hosts. I am Paige,
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
and let's get into it on what she said. All right, girls, who's bringing what to the table?
So I have one. It says, my partner is a director of a company. He recently employed a new female colleague, and I am uncomfortable with the amount of alone time they spend together. She is engaged to her long-term partner and recently moved from Europe. He seems to give her more compliments than I get.
Mm.
He deliberately only goes into the city to spend the day with her in the office, and recently it's been just them alone all day. He was driving her to train stations from the office to site meetings. I have spoken
Mm.
to him many times discussing how it makes me feel uncomfortable. Yesterday, again, he went into the city for no actual meetings, but just to spend the whole day with her alone in the office as it's her birthday. He took her to sushi train for lunch, and just the two of them, but didn't ask if I was okay. Just said, FYI, grabbing sushi with such and such. I was furious. I hate
Mm.
how she gets to spend so much one-on-one time with him, and then these lunches, just the two of them, when all I do is beg for him to spend time with me, and it's too much of an effort. There is trust issues as he has betrayed me before with an ex, has been a pathological liar, and was, possibly still is, addicted to corn. I know I don't deserve this type of disrespect and should just leave, but I really want to know if this is normal behavior from married or committed men. Thank you so much.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
that's saucy. Look, I
Mm,
actually have known a lot of partners that their other half spends a lot of time with a work colleague, like opposite sex.
right.
Um, and I would always call that inappropriate.
Mm.
Um, and this is how
Mhm.
workplace romances start.
Exactly.
But I mean, if this woman has moved over for her fiance, you would assume that she loves him. So it could be one-sided. Maybe the husband of this woman has a bit of a crush, and the other woman actually just sees him as a friend.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if the girl who's supposedly moved over here for a fiance doesn't actually have a fiance and he's just spun that story to her?
Yeah.
Very
That
true.
that crossed my mind. Look, none of this is ringing normal. And the fact that he's been unfaithful before um
Mm-hmm.
is not a good sign.
Mm. No, it's not.
So
Kick him to the curb,
interesting.
girlfriend. Kick him to the curb.
So
Yeah, once a
interesting.
tutor.
Well, he's a director of a company. They've spent X amount, and I would say it's 20 plus $1,000. Okay, as a finder's fee for someone. If you're a director of a business and you're employing someone to do something for you and you've paid that much money, you need to invest your time in that person to get them to understand the business, the background, the culture, what the expectations are. You want them to feel welcome.
Also,
Yeah.
particularly
Mm.
looking at it from that aspect, yes, I agree. Particularly if they're from a different country or culture
Hmm.
and do need to learn the ways of,
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry,
I
but
don't
the
know
only
that.
culture that they're really really growing is a culture between themselves. If they're stuck in the car together, if they're going out on, let's call it what it is, dates together, then they're not really building a culture within the business.
It's site visits. It's work visits.
And
I
lunch?
don't. Well, lunch I think was the birthday, which I think he could have invited the wife and said, "I want you to like if you've just moved over here, let meet my wife."
Yeah.
That I think is where I would have got annoyed. I would have been like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, if you're specifically going in to take her to lunch for her birthday, I'm coming." I
Mm-hmm.
probably
Mm.
wouldn't have given him an option. I would have said, "I'm coming. Let me make friends with her. Let she wants to meet someone, let me make friends with her."
Yeah. Well, if she's new
Mm.
here, she's probably got no friends anyway.
Exactly. I don't have a problem with the rest of it, but that probably would put my back up a little bit.
I think that if she's already got that feeling that he's being
Mhm.
unfaithful, then maybe she should go with her gut.
Yes.
Listen to your
Mhm.
But
gut.
it could just be that he has done it before. So, first thing, he's telling you that he's doing these things. So that's a thumbs up there. Okay.
Only after she's pushing him.
Yeah, or is she manifesting something in her mind that isn't actually as big as what she thinks it is?
She's making it bigger than what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Bigger than Ben-Hur.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this is hard to
We're all a
decide.
bit different. Hey, Paige is kicking him to the curb.
Kick him into look, I am at that stage in my life where this has happened to me before, and I'm never going to allow it to happen again. If you're
Mm.
getting those gut instincts saying he's doing something wrong, your gut's never going to let you down. I'm sorry, your gut will never let you down. If
Can
your
I
gut's
just
telling you it's wrong, he's doing something wrong, this is not okay, then nine
mm,
times out of ten, it's not okay, and there's something wrong going on in the background.
look, if she leaves her perfume in your car, you can always peel back the little like things, take the thing off, brush your hair, and put some of your hair in it and seal it back up. Not that I've ever done that before.
Okay.
I know you have.
And then she knows that you're on to her. That's it. I mean, there's
Yep.
always ways.
I know you have. I love those stories. They're pretty funny. Um, yes. Also, on what you're saying, Paige, is if that's your gut feeling, then there's obviously an issue in that relationship where there is no trust, and
Correct.
you shouldn't be living in a relationship where there is no trust. If
Correct.
him communicating and he could be completely honest, but if that is how you're feeling, then you should leave the relationship because you
Yeah.
clearly don't trust him, and it's giving you stress and anxiety that you don't need.
No, I agree. Yep, just approach him, talk to him about it. You're gonna know him well enough for him to
Hmm.
know whether he's, trying to pull the wool over your eyes or whether he is telling the truth. So I think you just need to hit him with the hard questions,
Hmm.
and see what happens. Good
Yeah.
Go to
luck.
the place with discomfort because that's where you grow.
Mm.
Oh, all right. Calm
And
down, calm down.
and I mean, if he is cheating, well then fucking you deserve someone better anyway.
That's right.
And if she
Exactly.
has good perfume, keep it.
And And let's be honest, I wouldn't be really offended if I wasn't getting invited to Sushi Train. If he was inviting her to like a five-star restaurant,
Mm.
that's when I'd be getting my back up.
No,
That
I'm
says
No.
romance, Sushi Train says grab a bite.
yeah, true.
All right, I have another one for us. This
Hmm.
one is husband advice.
Oh,
So,
well, I'm automatically just going to throw out there that I don't have a husband.
no, you can still give advice on this one. So,
Yeah.
my husband of 9 years, it's his 30th birthday, and he told me he wants to spend his 30th with just his friends with a weekend away on his birthday. And I'm a little bit hurt and shocked by this because I knew it would be a weekend without kids, but I didn't realize it would be a weekend without me as well. I just thought on a really big birthday like your 30th, you would want to spend it with the most important people in your life. Also,
Which are his mates.
mhm, clearly. Also, my birthday falls on the same weekend, which I would
Oh.
like to spend my birthday with him as well. So that
Mhm.
means that I will be home on my birthday watching the kids and celebrating without him on my birthday. I'm not sure if I'm
Oh.
overreacting or if I should be concerned that he doesn't want to celebrate his 30th or my 30th with me this year.
Oh, so she's also turning 30.
Same weekend.
Oh, that's harsh.
That is harsh.
Mm. Look, I was going to say stop being such a sissy and let him go have fun. But considering the fact that they've got the same birthday weekend, can't he go a
Yeah.
different weekend? Celebrate
Yeah,
his birthday with his
exactly.
mates on a different weekend.
Exactly. Why not go and do something romantic together? Okay, I'm
Oh,
not saying obviously,
after 9
but
years, whatever.
there
What's
is
romance these days? Macca's? That's a
When
restaurant.
you got kids and everything,
Drive through. Yeah.
but there's clearly some spark lost. So why not rekindle the spark? Go and do something romantic together. You know, Moira is very good with explaining how there are multiple hats in a relationship that you need to wear. Moira is very good, and it's advice that I live with. And not that I'm in a relationship now, but it's advice that I will continue to carry with when I do get into a relationship because not only are you your own person, you're also a mum, clearly, then you're a wife, then you're a girlfriend to your wider group of girlfriends, then, you know, you're yourself. There's all these different hats, and obviously there's been some maybe the spark's gone out of your romantic relationship and you need to rekindle that.
Hmm. And also, someone always puts more effort into a relationship. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean all the time. Like you could take turns. Like somebody
Mm-hmm.
will be the chaser and then somebody will be, the receiver.
Correct.
It just that's just what relationships are. So, I mean, you're obviously the chaser at the moment. Um, I would look if he really wants to do it, just let him go. Celebrate your birthday with your kids and then celebrate together the weekend after. Like,
I
yeah.
think it would have been fun to have like a combined 30th on the weekend that they both turn 30. And then
Mm-hmm.
they both get alternate weeks. So the one weekend the boy goes and has a time with his mates, the next weekend the girl goes and has time. Whether she wants
Absolutely.
to do that with her mates or with him, that's for them to decide. But I think
Exactly.
it's a bit hard when it falls on the same weekend. So last but not least for me, I have one that says, in caps, I need advice.
Oh.
Too much information, but my husband just told me that having relations with me is like having relations with a blow-up doll. And it's disgusting. I tried to explain to him I'm not a popcorn star, but he doesn't get it. I've personally never been one that overly enjoys having relations. I don't know why. I'd really just rather touch myself by myself, to be honest. And I definitely haven't felt like having relations with him lately. He's just very rude to me lately. I tried to explain to him, but all he could say was that he was being like that because he's frustrated. We haven't had relations. We have a
Oh.
5-month-old daughter. My episiotomy is still very painful during relations, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes me not want to have relations. Plus, since giving birth and breastfeeding, I really, really don't feel like having relations. I don't view my rack as anything more than food for my
A milk
child.
maker.
Yes.
Yeah.
He literally said to me, I see why men cheat. I never would, but I can understand why. My question is, what do I do? I feel
Punch him in the
bad
face.
because I feel bad because I don't think I'll ever fulfill his needs. So should we separate, or is there a way to save this?
That
No.
is
Okay.
effed. That's all that I'm going to say right now is that is
He
effed.
he is being immature, but okay,
Yeah.
taking I've breastfed. The least amount of time I breastfed a child is 2 years. And yes, when you are breastfeeding, your boobs are sore, they're swollen, takes a long time. 5 months in, they're not going to have settled down yet. So I can understand where you're coming from with
Mm.
they're the baby's boobies.
Mhm.
And he's obviously seeing these big engorged breasts that he probably hasn't seen before. And I'm going like this because they truly are like they're fucking the size of like little human heads. Um,
Or
and
melons.
melons, yes. Yes, that's a better one. Um, so I get he wants to play and touch because he probably hasn't had that before. Um, It's hard. Breastfeeding, being a mum anyway, being a new mum can takes all of your energy. You barely want to get up and have a shower. So tell your husband to fucking grow up, and they're your baby's boobies, not his, and that's that.
I don't like him, and I don't even know him. Nah,
Yeah.
that's so not right. That is so not on. And, your body's already going through a whole heap of change. You don't need him on the back foot going, oh, well, I find you like a blow-up doll. Well, do you know what? Go have sex with a blow-up doll, dickhead.
Yeah.
I would say that I would become probably slightly aggressive in that situation because if I have had an episiotomy, have a 5-month-old hanging off my boob, and this guy's telling me that it's like being with a blow-up doll, I would be getting that man's and I would be
Junk.
squeezing them and twisting them, and I would be trying to shove them back up inside. And I'd be saying, this does not even cover some of the pain that I have gone through. Listen, I think he is being the biggest, most selfish, immature person. Do I think you should separate? I think you really need to have the conversation really bluntly, like, unless you're going to pull your effing head in, treat me like the woman that I am and the mother to your child that I have just birthed and you've seen me be cut from B to V. Treat me with a bit of effing respect, or we're done. And you could go and take your blow-up doll and find somewhere else to go. That would be my reaction to him. And if he didn't pull his head in, then I would be saying, get out of my effing house.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheerio. Because he's obviously not being helpful.
No, maybe there is somebody that could speak to him in a way that says,
pull your fucking head in because you're being a dick.
Pull your head in.
No, you know what you do? You get a video of an episiotomy and you make them watch it.
Yeah. Or get those contraction simulators.
Pads.
That'd be funny. Send that into us so we can have a laugh.
Or be the dominant. Be the dominant. You don't have to be having the P and the V to be having some relations, right?
That's right.
Get a cat of nine tails.
That's exactly
would satisfy your frustrations. You're
That's
welcome.
right. Who's a bad boy?
You,
oh, too hard. Sorry. Got a little bit carried away.
This is a whole different segment. I think this is an OnlyFans thing. No, look, anytime you bring another person into the house and a little baby human, it changes that dynamic of a relationship as well. So it's just teething. Maybe just give it some time and things will kind of fall into place. 5 months is early days.
Yeah, it is very hard and they do feel very neglected because it does all become about this one person, and that's just the motherly instinct for you as a mum, is to maintain life.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, you're doing the job and you're trying to please everyone, and sometimes you just can't please everyone, so you've got to put your focus somewhere. I don't know that that's a separation thing unless there's been some issues previously. It is a struggle to get through, but maybe, like I said before, maybe there's another way to stroke that man's ego that doesn't involve your having to be a blow-up doll.
Exactly.
Yeah. She could play a role and he's not allowed to touch her.
Correct.
Not allowed to touch her.
Correct. This is the dominant. So she needs to get onto our monthly book club. Yeah. And listen to some of the stuff that they go through. Exactly. And that is how she does it.
Righto. I have one. My husband won't get a vasectomy because he's scared that he will have a complication like his friend did. So I'm assuming his friend got an infection or something, which can sometimes happen. He wants me to get my tubes done. What should I do?
I mean, as long as the complication wasn't another child. That's a big complication.
Look, I actually, this is a similar thing. I can relate this to myself because I chose to get my tubes done when I was having a C-section. So if you're going to have a baby and then you're having a C-section, they can actually do that. It takes like 3 minutes extra and it's
Can
done.
I tell you that's not necessarily the case? If you go through a private facility such as a Mater private, I don't know if everywhere has a Mater hospital in
Because
Queensland.
it's Catholic.
It's Catholic, and they won't do it.
Do you mean martyr?
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
that's
fucking
what she
translator.
said.
Well, look,
If I had captions, they would write Matter.
I'm pretty
And
sure
you
they'd
know how
write
you spell
martyr.
Matter? Martyr.
A martyr hospital.
It's not M-A-R-T-E-R. It's M-A-T-E-R.
It's not matter.
It is pronounced martyr though, but
Okay,
yes.
what do you put on the floor? Another
Carpet?
name for a rug.
It's a
Carpet.
mat.
Oh, a mat? Are you sure it's
Yes.
Mart?
No, I
Are you
said
trying to
your
be
pronunciation
smart?
was fine. Stop picking on me.
Now we just got to
And
waste
we're
time
back in the
picking on
room.
me and my accent.
Hey, I get it on a daily basis. You can get it too.
The more
If you're getting
fuck
done
do you
in a
get this
public
on a daily
system.
basis?
Oh, because I sound too bloody Queenslander.
Oh my god.
Shazza.
You're too main islander?
Yeah. Because apparently I say school and tool
Yeah,
and
you
fool.
are. You are a tool.
Do you know what you could tell him? Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Boom.
Mic
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's easier for a man to get a vasectomy though, because it's just they sit in the chair. They don't even go under. It's a local.
Yeah, you're awake,
And then
boys. You're awake.
They can.
The
They
whole
can literally
time.
go back. They can go back to work after it's done. Did you know that?
They can't.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. What
Yes.
kind of doctors are you going to? No wonder people are having freaking complications. You cannot go back to work same day. You'd have it on the Friday, you'd be right for the Monday.
Really?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Okay. It will at least
Okay,
next
well,
day.
the doctor that I used
Work
to
with.
do them where I was,
Right.
he would do them on a Friday and send them back to work on the Monday.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's a next day thing. He can go back to work the next day. I'm pretty sure you can.
Sure,
I'm going to
next day.
Google this shit. We've probably run out of time, but I'm going to Google this. No, yeah, you're right. So we'll cut out some of that other stuff. But yeah,
No,
so it says
we'll be leaving
it says
that bit in.
first 24 to 48 hours. It says to rest and relax, but after that you can return back to work.
Right. Now we understand the infection.
Because Emma told him to go straight back to work.
No, it's non-invasive. You sit in a chair. You don't go under. The complications are rare, and fucking you can take antibiotics. It's not like your dick's gonna drop off, right? And then
anyway.
and then
The absolute empathy coming from you is astounding, Emma.
Oozing.
and then you don't have to get cut open, which you do have to go under.
She doesn't have to get her tubes done. There are a
Exactly.
multitude of ways to not fall pregnant.
Exactly.
Just don't have sex.
That's it. That's a really efficient way of not getting pregnant. Let me talk to you about the cat and nine tails. Okay. See what happens when you make me read spicy books? This is what happens. I don't even know who I am anymore.
Oh, I love
So
that.
funny.
Love it. Freaking
That's
love it.
hilarious.
That's bloody hilarious. Okay.
Okay.
And just like that, the secret slipped back into the shadows. If today's tea scolded, soothed, or stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube and listen over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a review if you're feeling brave. And share this episode with someone who's definitely hiding something juicy. Got a secret, a scandal, a situation that needs a little sass and a lot of truth? Slide into our DMs or drop us an anonymous inbox. Because Here on Unspoken, nothing ever stays hidden. We'll be waiting. You've been listening to your wonderful hosts. I'm Paige,
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
and this is Unspoken with What She Said. Bye.
Bye.